social life has changed drastically since committing to a long-term relationship. I used to be one of those people to tell my friends back in the day, you will always be like my brother or bro before hoes, not realizing that most friendships are a means to an end, and that people who normally keep friendships for long periods of their life usually have been friends with said person for most of their lives. For me, I didn't have that growing up cause I was very isolated, and the friends I would make would eventually make it clear in their actions that I was kept around as the walking punchline. For example, imagine wanting to be alone with your friends and begging your parents to let you go trick or treating with them, only for them to make fun of you the whole time and later on snatch your candy from you to split down the middle with the rest of the crew. As a kid, I just saw it as people being mean, and my mom told me something I would never forget to this day: treat people how you wanted to be treated, and if people don't treat you with that same respect, then they were never friends with you to begin with. As I grew older, I cycled through a lot of friends and kept to that same advice my mother gave me. I made such an impossible criteria that it kept me from sustaining a friend group through my teens. I found myself feeling like I low-key nitpicked tiny things about the people I was cool with in that time being because I was afraid of betrayal in the long run. But, once I got to high school, I was extremely envious of social circles and began to want the same for myself, as I thought it was a step towards normalcy. I randomly started being cool with this loner kid, we'll call him Johnny. I'd walk the hall at school alone and Johnny normally would be out skipping class. One day I just said "what's up" and he replied back with a "I don't know you." I responded, "You know me now," and proceeded to introduce myself. He just kinda awkwardly continued the conversation and he slowly started being cool with me. We walked out the school and skipped lunch. We talked for the whole lunch period we skipped, and from then I was let into his circle of friends. Their names will be Terry, Lou, and Jax. Once this happened, I felt as if my life at school was gonna change for the better and I would be a lot more happier. But, I slowly realized that they were using me for convenience of whatever I could offer them. From me using my allowance majority of the time along with my paychecks when I started working later on to pay for functions we planned, to me being used as a third wheel on dates to help Jax sell a lie to whatever girl they were trying to get with, to me being everyone therapist when the group was playing too much on a serious matter, and a lot of other things. But what really got me is when my mom passed that they showed up to her funeral only for Terry and Lou to throw it in my face and tell me that I'm too depressed to hang out with anymore a few months later. After that I slowly started befriending others to move on from them and met a few new people at the new school I had to switch to. We'll call them Jerry and Wendy. They ended up introducing themselves to me this time around cause I guess I was funny lol, so they ended up being some of the coolest people I ever met at the time and they would invite me to parties. I thought they were my real friends I finally found, but unless we were smoking and drinking then conversation was dull and so was relatability. I kept in touch with Jerry and Wendy but not their friend groups because of that reason. I got into a relationship and all my friends I've made over the years started showing their true colors to me. I had Johnny changing up since he got a GF, Lou wouldn't stop talking crap about me to Terry, Terry tried to expose me as a player to my girlfriend, Wendy stopped hanging out with me over jealousy of me dating, which she never told me she liked me more as a friend, and Jerry I thought was the realest one left out of my circle. To be honest, I went through a lot with all the friends I kept around, so I started cutting people off. 2 years passed and I had 2 friends left. I was cool, I cut everybody off from back home and thought Jerry and my old roommate at the time was good enough for me. Jerry needed my help and asked to stay at me and my girlfriend's house, so me being the person I am I said yes. It was cool for the first couple weeks, but when I started seeing his money management and he was not keeping his word on rent, that he himself said he would do, I began to lose my cool. I also noticed he started being really flirtatious with my girl and he was sending money to females overseas but watching me struggle to provide for my home. He even bought cosmetics for his beat-up car before he gave me a dime towards my bills that he was running up. I played it cool and gave him a month to figure out his living situation. When the month was up I deadass put his stuff outside for him and he woke up to see it for himself. He got out and burnt out my driveway. I blocked him just like everyone else and I've been by my lonely ever since. I no longer have trust in people to befriend them cause it seems nobody has ever been truly genuine with me anytime I put myself out there. Friendships mean nothing to people anymore and I'd much rather keep to myself after all the drama and turmoil. It's lonely, but it's easier.